Howdy, folks. Wow, another week. This week, I wish I was right next to Mushi and the kids. I sort of missed them. That's right. What a coincidence. This week, I'm gonna be talking about the 5 things I wish I had known or I wish I had done along this medicine career path. I think along the way of anything, whether it's career or life, I think all of us have had regrets. And I think that's part of life. And I think that's all right to a certain degree. Things happen, we learn from it, and we move on. So this episode is not meant to shame anyone or make anyone feel guilty, but really to provide an insight for current and future folks who are interested in a career in medicine, so that maybe they don't repeat my mistakes or my lack of knowledge in certain aspects. All right, let's go. Howdy, folks. This is Dr. Bao.
Yes.
The goal of this channel is to make it useful for those of you who might be interested in learning more about a doctor's life. You could be a student, a resident, a fellow, an attending, a parent, or someone who simply loves to information overload yourself.
Seriously.
Although I do work and am affiliated with some hospitals and med school, what I say does not represent the opinion of any entity except myself. Please like or dislike, hopefully not dislike, subscribe, comment, share, and press that bell icon.
Great.
So a career in medicine is a long journey. And along the path, as I got more involved, or am getting more involved with students, residents, and fellows and other colleagues, I sometimes get asked the question, actually I quite often get asked the question, what would you have done differently along the path? So I've been reflecting, and there are definitely things that I would like to do differently, though to be very honest, even if you were to give me another chance to repeat everything, I don't know how much I would be able to do. It's hard. Our schedule is so packed, sometimes to the point that I'm not really sure if we really have time to make the necessary changes, even if we knew that we needed to. Nevertheless, I have come up with these 5 things that hopefully one way or the other would benefit some folks who are watching this. At least that's the intention. So, number 1, I wish I had stayed more connected with folks, with everyone, including myself. As we've been mentioning over and over, a career in medicine is hectic in terms of scheduling, events, tasks that you have to complete. You know, a lot of times I think as I kind of look back, there were a lot of times where I felt like I really was not listening to myself, and I really didn't have the time to stay connected, not only with myself, but also with my family. I'm not gonna lie, there's always a part of me that's gonna feel guilty that I had spent more time with my second son after he was born than my first son. When my first son was born, I was extremely busy and there was a lot of stresses. And so I worked a lot and rarely saw him, even though I'm gonna be very honest, I wanted to see him. I wanted to see Mushi, but I couldn't, or I chose not to because I somehow prioritized other things over seeing them. And again, I'm gonna repeat myself, if you were to give me one more chance, I don't know how much I'm gonna change, because looking at myself and my family right now, I don't think I made the wrong decision. However, I do wish I had stayed more connected with a lot of folks, including myself. I wish I had more chance to listen to myself, to ask myself if I was getting burnt out, if I was too overwhelmed. I wish I had more time to listen to Mushi, to be there for her, to support her. I wish I had more time to spend with my parents, my kids, my in-laws, and my other family members, and my other friends. I think if you were to give me another chance, I probably would spend a little bit more time. How much more? I can't say, but I think a little bit more than what I did before. That's obviously at the expense of work and income. So who knows? But that's number 1. Number 2, I wish I had taken some kind of courses in communication skills while I was in med school, or even in college, and perhaps residency. I think internal medicine, pediatrics, and perhaps pediatric hematology, oncology the most. Experiences, those training have certainly deepened my understanding and my knowledge and my skills in communication. But I wish I had taken some kind of communication skill courses along my training, because there were times when I was so stressed out, or I was just not happy with whatever happened on that particular day or during that particular week, that I said inappropriate things to my family that I regretted. As a doctor or as a person in medicine, we are very used to giving suggestions, recommendations, advices. But sometimes when our family talks to us, reaches out to us, or friends call us, they're not necessarily looking for recommendations. And so there were definitely times when I got a phone call or I met up with family and friends, and when somebody was mentioning an issue that he or she was having, I quickly put my medicine hat on and started giving recommendations and my opinions and everything. And looking back, I mean, people were polite, but looking back, some of them probably didn't need those recommendations. In fact, some of those recommendations probably weren't even appreciated, to be fair. And I think being a supportive listener is maybe an unnatural part of our training as physicians. And having taken some communication skill courses after residency and fellowship training, I've learned that. But I wish I had taken some courses along the way so that I could be more helpful, not just to myself, but to my family and friends. Number 3, I wish I had taken some kind of financial courses along the way. As doctors, we definitely get financial planning sessions throughout medical school and residency training, but I wish I had taken some kind of dedicated course for personal financial planning or family financial planning. For example, student loan management, which I'm actually doing quite a decent job, but there were other aspects that I wish I had done more or done better. For example, family expenses, investments, which I am also not doing too bad. But I could have used more knowledge along the way to make better decisions. And I get it, we can always be better, but this would be one of the things that I would like to have done better. Number 4, I wish I had taken some kind of courses in time management / stress management. And I'm lumping these two together because I think they really relate to each other and they associate with each other, and maybe they have some kind of cause-effect relationship with each other, to be fair. Like I said before, there were times when I got so stressed out that I said inappropriate things to my family that I deeply regretted. Fortunately, all of my family members, to be very fair, they have been quite supportive, quite understanding, and quite patient with me. I am very thankful of that. But there were definitely times that I regretted saying whatever I said. There were definitely times when I was so stressed out that I did certain things that nothing criminal, but certain things that I regretted, that I wish I had done better. Having taken certain courses and seminars and sessions in stress management and time management, I think those courses would have helped a lot when I was a med school student or a resident or a fellow. In terms of time management, the medical students and the residents nowadays that I see, and some of my colleagues whom I train together or have worked together, they know, or at least they strive for a good work-life balance. This is not a culture I'm used to. I'm not gonna lie. The culture that I'm used to, that I grew up in, there's no work-life balance. It's only work, life. Balance. There's no work-life balance. You gotta work your tail off so that you can provide for your family, and I'm not saying that's a healthy thing, but that's part of my culture. But now that I know that there are certain techniques in time management, I would have definitely adjusted some of the things that I did before, focusing not just on work, research, whatnot, but more on life, family, and hobbies. So I definitely wish I had more training in time management and stress management. Lastly, number 5, I wish I had known what I did not know. I know this sounds like WTF. I get it. I'm not trying to fill up the space or time in this video. In other words, I'm not just saying whatever, but I truly wish I had known what I did not know. And I understand to a large extent, there is no way for that to happen. But there are definitely things I could have done to make this potentially happen. And I'm gonna offer those suggestions over here. Always stay inquisitive, stay curious, and stay receptive to constructive feedback constructive criticism, and any input that people give you or give us. We might not like those input, those opinions, and we might just ignore them in the end, and that's fine. But stay receptive and really think about the opinions that others give us, because they might actually be useful. And by asking more, we will know more, which means we would know more than if we had not stayed inquisitive and receptive. So I think when people kind of give us feedback and when you ask for feedback, don't be afraid. Stay true to ourselves. I think no matter what we do, and I say this with certainty, no matter what we do, people are going to judge. And let's just be honest with ourselves. We judge too. So no matter what we do, people are going to judge. I think what we need to focus on is how do we become better for ourselves, for our family, and for our communities, so that we can be more useful. If you have questions about medicine in general or a career in medicine in general, leave a comment and eventually I will get back to you. For now, best of luck!